Good evening. I hope you all are doing well for our first episode of CIA Live. Tonight's episode is just going to simply be over what this Community Inclusion Ambassadors Inc. is. And let me put my little notes here. How we started, where we're at today, and where we're hoping to be at in the future, along with a couple community surveys that are going on we'd like to share with you. Okay. So I'm Patrick Underwood. I'm the board president for Community Inclusion Ambassadors Inc. We started back in the fall of the Orange County Parents and Children with Special Needs started back in the fall of 2014. Mainly it was started from two parents talking together at Head Start about trying to find resources and things to make it a little bit easier to find what their children need. Over the time, we've done workshops. We started doing the Century Santa programs, and last year we had in Too Cute to Spook. At the end of our Century Santa in 2019, the volunteers started talking, and it was agreed that we needed to move from the Orange County Parents and Children with Special Needs, which was just an informal support group, to a formal nonprofit organization, and start developing long-term programs and work on trying to make things better in the community for all the families. So that's where the idea came from. The name Orange County Parents and Children with Special Needs didn't feel like a fit for the nonprofit because we started having families take part from Lawrence County and Washington County in different things, along with talking with them about IEPs, which in Indiana, Article 7 is our special education rules. IDEA is the federal guidelines for special education. So we'd have families contact us and want to talk about what's going on with their child and try to get some advice on how to move forward. So as our group started talking and trying to get input from families that were in our Facebook group and on our Facebook page, the name Community Inclusion Ambassadors kind of developed from the goal of working at the community level, inclusion, trying to make our communities more inclusive, and ambassadors came from the goal of trying to do this in a cooperative manner. We know that sometimes even inclusion as a change in an environment can be a little bit hard for everyone. So we want to try to do this in a cooperative manner. Sorry, my notes slipped past. On July 30th of this year, Community Inclusion Ambassadors Inc. officially incorporated in the state of Indiana as a domestic nonprofit, and in April we were granted the IRS Non-Profit status. So that's kind of where we are at in formation up until today. Today, with COVID-19, we had to suspend activities that we were working on for the safety of families. At our May board meeting, it was agreed that we would pull back program planning to focus on our Caregiver Group and our sensory-friendly programs. So mainly we're just going to focus on developing the one new program, which is our Caregiver Group, and continuing the sensory programs that we had been doing as Orange County Parents and Children with Special Needs. And if I'm going a little too fast, I'm sorry. So when we're looking at moving forward, we will be reviewing the sensory programs and caregiver programs in June's meeting to see when a safe restart for the caregiver meetings will be. We're hoping for July, but we are not sure at this time. We're also going to be looking at the sensory programs and trying to make backup plans, because how we've done the sensory programs in the past may not be the safest way to move forward this year. But we will be working on our primary plan like we have in the past, and then we're going to try to work on a couple, I guess you say plan B and plan C's, just in case COVID-19 throws us a curve this fall. Moving into the future, the future of Community Inclusion Ambassadors is a special dynamic. We want to base it off of what the needs of the families are. Right now, all we know for sure is we're going to be working on building the caregiver groups sensory-friendly activities, and trying to increase accessibility at community events, and increasing parent knowledge on advocacy. That's what we know for sure that we want to continue to focus on, but we want to hear from families on what it is that they're facing, what challenges they see in our communities, and what we can do to help. So we're going to need your input on that, along with our Caregiver Group. This is a new program we're starting. Right now we know that we just want to be a time for families to be able to come together and talk about what's going on in their lives. But we also want to learn, do you want to try to add in play groups? Do you want to try to add in like an arts and craft time with the kids and the parents together? We want to hear from you. We want to know what it is in a caregiver group that you want as families. If there's any questions, if you'd like to comment on them, or you can also ask to be invited in to actually come on live, please feel free to do so. Just checking real quick to see if there's any questions or any comments. No, William, you can't turn on the Xbox yet until I'm done.
It's muted, already muted.
Okay. We do have one parent question that came in this week. If my child has health issues that makes them high risk for COVID-19, do I have to send them to school? That's going to be a real tricky question to answer because every child's situations are different. The best way that I can answer this one would be, due to the schools waiting for guidance from the state, it may be hard to make that plan for the fall semester right now. One of the things you may want to do is talk with your child's doctor and see what they think about their health conditions and their risks, and possibly write out a physician statement that you can take to the school and let them know that you'd like to talk before school starts back about what's going to be best for your child as a team. They do have options. They can put into IEPs, different plans. There's all the way up to homebound education. Hopefully there'll be solutions somewhere less restrictive, but as a team you guys need to sit down and talk and have all the facts ready to have that discussion. Hopefully in July the state's hoping to have the guidelines out, so hopefully we'll have an idea on what the school's guidelines are going to be to open up, or what their plan is for the fall. Alright, and it shows no questions. Do you want to make an invitation to come on the show for any of our local providers in the area, any parents that want to talk about a special subject that they would like to cover? Just send us a message to Community Inclusion Ambassadors Facebook page, and we'll try to talk with you and make a plan to have that as one of our topics for an episode. This week might be a little bit short. I'm going to throw in the comments a link to the Orange County Health Coalition survey. They are doing a survey right now to try to determine mental health services in our area, and this survey will help them to know how to plan programs and what they need to be working on. I'm going to throw that in the comments real quick. There's a brief description of what the survey is about, but when you open the link it will talk about it in more detail before you start the survey. And that should be in the comments below now. And there was one other survey that's been going. It's been started by Paley Community Schools, and they're doing a parent survey. Paley Community Schools is seeking parent and guardian input on what re-entry could look like for the students this fall. So we're going to put that one in the comments below as well, and I'll try out the description here in a little bit after the video is over. So if you're a Paoli family, if you'll please take a few moments to do the Paoli survey, that would be helpful for the schools to try to work on their fall plan. And sorry if I rushed through that a little bit. We've covered about most of the material I want to cover in about 10 minutes today. The goal with CI Live is going to be to have a time to talk about special education in our communities, talk about parenting topics, talk about resources. So we want this to be a time for topics that you are interested in. I know for me it's Article 7 and IDA that I really get interest out of reading and learning about, but I know from other parents theirs is medical, learning how to navigate the medical system, learning how to work with insurances on pills, and navigating getting the medical equipment their children need, because that's what their child's needs are. So that's one of the reasons our group really wants to move towards having in-person meetings with the Caregiver Group. They're going to be a real guiding light for our programs to help us decide what is needed. The families are taking part in that, along with the input that we get through our Facebook page or messages or phone calls. We are a new nonprofit. We're starting up. We do have a history that dates back with Orange County Parents and Children with Special Needs, but beginning of this year, we basically are starting fresh and trying to build something that'll be lasting in our community. We hope that we can do this as a good partnership, and we look forward to see where we go. If there's no comments or questions, I'm going to go ahead and end the video for today. We'll go live again next Thursday at 5:30 p.m. and talking with a couple of people about coming on as guest speakers. So we'll see which one might be ready next week. And if I don't have a guest speaker, then I'll probably pick a topic in special education, cover a little more detail, and get you some slides made up to cover it. I'm going to also, on the health side, about the question about does a child have to go to school, I'm going to include a couple of links in the comments as soon as I can get them pulled up about certificate of, sorry, my screen went blank, incapacity. And there's also going to be a talk about a physician, one of them's also going to talk about a physician statement and what the differences are. Maybe that might help some of you in trying to plan for next school year on if that's going to be the right decision for you. We're in a scary time, and so trying to protect our children is what a lot of us have done for a long time. So moving forward, the schools are learning, we're learning. The schools in Orange County, compared to what I've heard of from neighboring states and other advocates around the country, have done a really good job trying. There just wasn't really a good playbook on how they were going to do it. And so as we go into the fall, we're going to have to work together. We're going to have to find what's going to work for the children, and each child may have unique needs. And so we're going to have to, as their parents, their teachers, their administrators, their school psychologists, work together to find out what's right for them. So I thank you for tuning in today. I wish you well. If there's any questions, feel free to contact us. Thank you. Bye.